What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am your host, feeling good tonight, Reckless Rexx Ruger. That, of course, watching my back is the Alexis Arguello puppet. If the mustache wasn't enough to give it away, back with another banger of an episode. I'm pumped. I'm excited. We got the $1 million man strolling in here, man. I'm confused because I got conflicting stories on the internet if he's from Florida or if he's from Texas. But tonight, in honor of Texas, Houston, Texas, and the Ghetto Boys, right there. Honorary Fifth Ward Posse. We Can't Be Stopped. Amazing hip-hop album. Landmark album. Bush with Bill. Rest in peace. Got to get all that out of here first. Great episode tonight, man. Before my guest gets in here, let me go into the obligatory promotional mode. Make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook for updates on boxing news, huge upcoming fight announcements, anything pertinent that I can throw out there and share with the boxing world. I'm going to get it on there. And, of course, updates on when new episodes are coming out and who will be on said episodes. But you know it's always going to be what? Legends, luminaries, champions, and rising stars. Dudes on the come up, man. That's what really gets me excited the most. Always great to have legends in here, man. But to see young fighters coming up, man, and getting a chance to talk to them while they're on that ride upward, man. A lot of young, successful fighters have been out here, man. Proud of all of them, man. They're all out there doing their thing, man. And if you're on the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, smash that notification button. I always say you're watching a boxing podcast, so punch that notification to stay tapped into the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on the planet right here, man. You know we're going to get down to the brass tacks. You know, of course, nothing's going to be edited. So you're going to see me in contact with my guest. I give you a peek behind the curtain. Nothing's getting edited out because I'm 52 years old and I will not be bothered. Time is precious when you get to be in the latter stages of your life. I'm not going to go back and edit shit. Life's happening and we're going to record it for posterity's sake. And you know I'm always big on posterity. At the time of this recording, it is February 26th, which is a tough day for me. 9 years ago today, I lost my father. Tough day for me. Tough day. But figured the best way is to think about him, think about boxing, chop it up with an amazing young up-and-coming fighter. And while I sit here waiting for him to come in, I will say that a couple of hot topics we've been talking about lately that seem like they've become big news in the boxing world. Going back to 15 rounders, possibly for title fights at the very least, or, you know, bouts where undisputed is going to be decided. Do they go back to 15 round fights? I don't know how close they're doing this. I think this was something that the WBA was flirting with. I don't know who's come out about it or who's rallying for it, man. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. It will make them much more like the old school days, but I don't know. Do we want to put people through another 9 minutes of punching? It's not a decision. Me as somebody who works in healthcare and sees, works with the geriatric population and sees people get dementia and get neurological illnesses, man, without getting punched. You know, I mean, these fighters are already giving us 12 rounds in a championship fight. I mean, do we really want to push boxers more? I mean, we're sending them out there for another 9 minutes doesn't behoove them to have and end up having amazing health in their golden years. That would be my criticism of it. I mean, 9 minutes doesn't sound like much in the grand scheme of things, but how many punches will they absorb in those extra 9 minutes? How many more times will they be punched in the head? You know, I mean, if somebody landed 10, 15 punches on them around, times 3 more rounds, it's another 45 times getting punched. How much can one person take? I mean, so I don't know if going back to 15 rounds is the answer, but I suppose in time we will see. My guest is here now. We're going to get down to it and chop it up. I've been rattling on long enough, and we're going to get the man in here. Justin, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, listen, man. I get conflicting things when I'm on the internet checking you out, man. Are you in Florida and fighting out of Texas, man? Because in honor of you being from Houston, Texas, I wore the Fifth Ward Posse hat tonight,
No. I
and
fight
in
out
honor
of
of the
Houston.
late great Bushwick Bill.
Yeah, no, I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I fight out of Houston. I'm living in Houston now.
Okay. So it's okay representing the Fifth Ward Posse then.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey. So first of all, congratulations, man. You just won a fight a couple weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, before we talk about your career, what did you think of this big Saudi Arabia card that we just saw? Any takeaways for you there?
It was a good card and very entertaining to watch. And the Saudis, they're doing great things for boxing right now.
Yeah, they seem like they're taking over. But listen, a boxing fan cannot complain. That pay-per-view cost me $25.99 for like 6 world title fights. Everything was evenly matched and great fights, man. That's what boxing fans are always yelling for. I was telling people it's criminal if you're a boxing fan to not buy this and support this, man. You know, I mean, this is what we want.
Yes, absolutely. At that price, you can't beat it. Watch such competitive matchups and entertaining fights.
What was the fight that stood out for you, man? Shakur had a pretty easy night.
Yeah, well, Shakur did what was expected of him. But of course, there was probably the Bivol and Beterbiev fight. That's what I was interested in.
Was it a mistake, you think, man? Ultimately, now that this happened to Bacoli with Joseph Parker, that he came over and tried on a little too short a notice?
Maybe so. Because now he can't fight for the world. He's not eligible to fight for the world title eliminator, I think it is. But I guess he rolled the dice and it went how it went.
And so, how soon, man? Like you in your own career, man. Is there a time limit where you would say, no, that's too close, man? I got to have more time than that.
Right. It all depends. If you had a fight coming up like around that same time or a week later, a week before or something, and it's that close, and you're prepared to go, then you step in and you go for it. But I would always want to be at my absolute best when I step in and take a fight, and to make sure I'm prepared to win.
And so, what's next for you, man? Like if someone came to you right now and said, "Hey, man, you could be your own promoter, man, and where you are in your career right now, you could pick your next couple of fights." Like, who would your ideal 3 opponents be, man? Are there people out there you'd like to face at 135?
Well, it would just be I would go right to the guys with the belts. So, of course, I want to try. It's all about the belts for me. At 35, that's the goal, is to become a world champion.
Yeah. Who has all the belts right now, man? I always feel like, man, when you're talking about weights, man, there's always like 3 or 4 guys there that are all claiming that they're the best of that weight.
You got Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, and you got Lomachenko. We don't know if he's going to retire or not yet, but those are the guys with the belt. So
yeah, for people that don't have the inside track, you could probably expound on this much better. You being a fighter, man, what does ultimately happen, man? Are you kept in the loop of what's going on with that IBF title? Because is Lomachenko defending it, or does he have to retire, or does he have to do something in a set amount of time?
I'm not sure. Just like everybody else, everybody's just waiting to see what Lumo's gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Shit, man. He had a long amateur career, though, man.
Yeah, he had a long amateur career and a great pro career, but we don't know what's gonna happen.
And so obviously, man, everybody in the boxes out there could technically be, your competition. But are there guys you enjoy watching, man? Who's out there doing it right now, man? If they're fighting, man, like you'll sit down and watch, pay attention.
Well, for me, it's just about any boxing. It don't matter even the level. I'm just a boxing fan in general, so I watch all the fights.
Yeah, I camped out on my couch, man, all day Saturday, man. I bought that card and didn't move, man. I scored him. I was into it, man. I was really like lasered in, man. I was like, this is what boxing fans want, man. Every fight is like evenly matched.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for me. I just love boxing, man. So I watch everybody.
And so for you right now, you're at 135, and that seems like a great division to be at, man. We just mentioned a bunch of names, man. But do you have plans in your future of going to other weights?
Right now, my main focus is on becoming world champion at 135 pounds, and I'm sure after that, I look forward to moving to 140.
Yeah, man. One thing I like to ask guys on here, man, the mental side of fighting doesn't seem to come easy for people. You know what I mean? Most people's intention, I think, in life is to do everything they can to avoid a confrontation. Obviously, there must be fear, anxiety that comes in when you're going to go in and fight another guy. How do you yourself, what tools do you use to harness that, man, and make it so it's not an obstacle for you?
Well, I started fighting at 8 years old, so when it comes to fighting, it's just like riding a bike for me.
Yeah.
I really don't even get nerves at this point. I don't know. Maybe at a bigger stage when I'm there to fight for the world title, maybe it might be. But right now, I don't get nervous when it's time to fight. It's just like doing anything else for me. It's second nature.
I think when you started 8 years old, man, yeah, you're fucking good at something, man. You know what I mean? Like, how old are you right now, if you don't mind me asking?
30 years old now, so
30. Yeah. When you've been doing something 22 years, shit, you got a lot of time in, man.
it's just it's like doing anything else. It's just natural now at this point.
And so, yeah, I like that you talked about your age, 30, man. Do you feel like 30 is your prime? Like, do you feel like you're in your prime right now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm becoming into my prime because the mental has met the physical, and I think that's the prime. Like now, I'm ready to go. Like, and it's mostly the mental aspect of it. Like I'm sharp there right now.
Is there somebody that you remember watching, man? Like, you probably got into watching boxing first, man. Are there any guys that you were watching do it, man? You know, who were like you were like idolizing? You know, we always have sports idols when we're kids.
Well, of course, as a kid, I always watched Floyd Mayweather. That's who I fell in love with. And I watched a lot of older fighters, as in like Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler, and even I love James Toney. So those are my guys.
Yeah, Tony's, man, awesome, man. I love James Toney, man, from 160 to heavyweight was amazing, man.
Yeah, he was a pure killer,
Incredible.
man. He would fight anybody too. So I like James.
Now, usually people have an opinion on this one way or another, man. But like when Jake Paul puts on an event, are you a fan of those? Do you think they're good for boxing, man, or are you not a fan?
I don't really watch him, but at the end of the day, it brings more eyes to the sport of boxing, and I like that he do put actual pro boxers on those cards, and he pay them well. So I like that part about it.
What's better if you get offered, man, a Jake Paul card or a Turkey Al Sheikh in Saudi Arabia card?
Well, for me, Turkey out of sheep.
Yeah, he's making things. Yeah, he's getting things popping over there, man. He is. He's getting big fights to come over there, man. And you know what though, man? I like what he's doing, though. I like what he's doing.
Absolutely. I think now he's making it about the fighters. He's paying the fighters and he's putting on competitive matchups. So that's what the sport's all about.
So, like, when you think of like, you know, I always see like guys on social media and stuff. Everybody wants to be the face of boxing. Is there anybody definitively right now that you would give that label of the face of boxing?
No.
Could be anybody.
Yeah, because you still got Canelo Alvarez, and then you got Javante Davis, and we can make different reasons for why either one of them could be called the face of boxing.
You think, man, like your life after boxing, man, like you think like once you're not actively fighting anymore, and I know you're a young guy, man, still, so you got a lot of your career left. When you're done fighting, you think boxing will always have a place somewhere in your life? Like, will you train or promote or do shit like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I always have some type of involvement in boxing. I love the sport. I've been involved in it all my life. So even if it's training or managing a fighter or whatnot, I'll always be part of boxing.
What do you think of? I brought this up on a couple other episodes, man. There was something that I was reading online where they were considering. I don't know if they were talking about any more than just championship fights or undisputed fights, but they were talking about going back to 15 rounds, man. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I seen that they were saying that undisputed fights would be 15 rounds. I think that would be great. I think that they bring it back to like the old days. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool seeing just the fights that for undisputed being 15 rounds. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I kind of have like half of my life because I'm a little older than you. I'm 52, man, but I remember like half of my life. I remember most of my life watching 15-round fights, like championship fights were like 15-round fights, like well into the 80s.
Yeah, that'd be tough, man. But that'll separate the man from the boys for sure.
Now, do you like going like when you're gonna fight? Like, do you go like away somewhere for what they call a camp?
No, I do my camp right here in Houston. I'm already away from home.
Yeah.
This is my home now, but like I'm away from friends. I have my my girl and my son here, but besides that, I'm focused. I'm training right here in Houston.
And so how active would you like to be in 2025, man? Like, ideally, what would you like to fight?
Hopefully, I can get at least 2 more fights in this year. That'll be a total of 3. And after putting on 2 more great performances, the fans and the media and everybody should be demanding me to be in the ring with some of the big names at 135.
Yeah, yeah. I would say you should be too, man. I mean, and that's such a deep division. There's so many guys to fight, you know?
Yeah.
It'd just be nice to see the best guys fighting the best guys. Man, what do you think of some of your contemporaries at 135, like guys that do have a big name for themselves, but are kind of like young, like yourself, on the come up? Like I recently saw a card with Abdullah Mason. What's your opinion of him?
He's a little younger than me, but he's a great young fighter, and he's doing his thing. And all those are great fights down the line for me. But I think he's on the hunt just like me. So I'm looking up.
You froze for a minute. There you go. There you go. You're good now.
Like I was saying, he's another great young fighter, but he's in the hunt just like me, and I don't think he's beat any opponents like that I've beat to the caliber of how I beat him. I just come off beating a former world champion. I don't think he's done that yet in his career. So I'm looking forward.
What do you think? Like, doing it for 22 years, man. What do you think boxing has taught you the most, man? What do you think the deepest lessons are you got from boxing?
Discipline and patience. That's what boxing has taught me. It's still a lot of discipline in me, and taught me that you just have to have patience.
I can tell you, as a guy being married 26 years, I've learned discipline and patience too. Yeah, there's no way not to.
Yeah, you got to have that in life, man. You need it.
So, you mentioned earlier, man, like wanting to be in like world title fights, man. Do you anticipate having a shot at a title reasonably sometime in 2025? Will one of the fights hopefully be like a title fight?
Well, you never know. Like today, I just checked the rankings, and I'm number 14 in the WBO now. So anything is possible. I'm looking forward to one of those big fights, but I know as of right now, I just need to go out and whoever's the next opponent is, I need to go out and continue to put on dominant performances and impress everybody, impress all the people who's watching, impress the promoters, and impress. And as long as I do that, I believe I'll get my shot very soon.
And I always like to know the origin of nicknames, man. $1 Million Man, where does that come from? I remember the $1 Million Man in the 80s, man, when I watched wrestling.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't get it from that. I've heard about that before, but the $1 Million Man just came about that being the dream of just wanting fighting fights, $1 million fights, and that's the goal, and just to inspire millions of people.
Yeah. So are there any fights coming up, man, that you know of that you're looking forward to as a fan to watching?
Probably just the Terrence Crawford and the Canelo Alvarez fight right now. I'm looking forward to seeing that, to seeing how Crawford will be able to deal with the size advantage, and how will Canelo be able to deal with the footwork and the speed of Crawford. So that's a very interesting fight to me.
I'm looking forward to Eubank Ben. You think he goes too far at a press conference, hitting a guy with an egg?
Yeah, I think he might have crossed the line a little bit. Like, I don't think I can see myself doing anything like that. Yeah. But that's the way those guys promote. So I think it's going to be an entertaining fight.
That's quite a setup too, man. Going up there with eggs already in his pocket.
That was crazy.
He thought that out. He put some thought into that, man.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
And so, this last fight, you're just coming off a win. How did you assess your most recent performance, man? Were you happy with yourself?
Yeah, I think I've done good, but I know it's a lot more I got to offer to the sport. I can do a lot better than that. People will see coming soon in these next coming fights. I'm going to continue to go out and put on great performances, and this is just the start of my run, and I'm on the way to the world title.
Well, so if people want to tap in, if they want to keep on, checking in on where your career's at, where's the best place to kind of be tapped in with Justin?
Well, you follow me on Instagram at Justin PAULDO, and all the updates on me, upcoming fights, and everything will be posted on there.
Yeah. Keep me posted, man. I like chopping it up with you, man, and I appreciate you coming on here doing it, man. It's always good, man, to have conversations, man. I love talking boxing, man, and I'm a fan, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Absolutely. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, man. Good talking to you, bro.
Sure. Later. Yes, sir.
And there he goes, folks. Justin PAULDO, a force at 135 pounds. And in the 135-pound division is fucking deep. But I like where Justin PAULDO is. 18-2, 9 knockouts, the $1 Million Man. Just fought on February 8th. It is now, at the time of recording this episode, February 26th. So I'm not very good with math. 18 days ago. He had an 8th round KO. So he should be pretty happy with his performance. He's doing things. I like him, man. And he didn't mind that I was repping Fifth Ward Posse. And not just for him fighting out of Houston, Texas, but also, as I said, for the Ghetto Boys. The late, great Bushwick Bill. Come on, man. Mind of a lunatic. Mind playing tricks on me. Scarface, Willie D, Bushwick Bill. That's the classic lineup I'm paying homage to, man. And really appreciate getting away from boxing there for a minute. Really appreciate Justin Pauldo coming on. The $1 Million Man. Stay tapped in his career, man. He's going to do big things, man. I like him. He's on my radar. As I always say, I don't just pick people's names out of a hat and have them on here. They've come on my radar for a reason, man. I like what they do. Justin's one of those dudes, man. I wish him a lot of success, man. 135-pound division's got a lot of fish in the sea, man. So he could have a share of great fights. I hope he gets them. So that's another episode. Hope you guys dug it. The Alexis Arguello puppet, as usual, didn't say dick. But we expect that out of him. But thank you to Justin Pauldo. Make sure, as always, to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook, and like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tapped in. I said all that shit earlier, man. And we are the champions of amazing and real conversations with legends, luminaries, fighters on the come up, champions. They all drop by and we chop it up, man. And I like Justin Pauldo. He's a good one, man. So stay tapped in. My mouth is dry. I'm high as a kite, man. High as a kite. I'm going to cop to it. I'm going to cop to it, man. It's the edibles, folks. Trust me. Since I had pneumonia, it's been no more puffing for me, man. Getting this zooted off of edibles. Tincture. Couple of drops will do you. So make sure to stay tapped in. And again, thank you to Justin Pauldo, 135-pound guy on the come up, repping Houston, Texas, as I was in this episode. So make sure to stay tapped in to the undisputed, undefeated King of Boxing podcast. Remember, if you want to be a champion, you got to roll with the champs.